Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love. Hey, I'm Todd Newton. Welcome to the Tattooed Traveler. On this episode, I'm bringing you to this great town to explore its rich history. I'm also going to take you to a couple of locations from what I think is the greatest film ever. And of course, I'm talking about Rocky. No surprise, we're in Philadelphia. And on top of all that, the cherry at the very tippy top of this great Sunday, I'm going to introduce you to a very familiar face from one of your favorite reality shows. I'll give you a hint. It takes place right here in Philadelphia. It's all coming up on the Tattooed Traveler. Welcome to the birthplace of our nation. Talk about arriving in style, huh? Welcome to Pennsylvania's largest city, and welcome to the famed William H. Gray III 30th Street Station. This beautiful train station was built between 1929 and 1933 by the Pennsylvania Railroad. It's a little neoclassical, a little Art Deco. It's been listed on the National Register of Historic Places since 1978, and I just love these soaring ceilings. An incredible collection of art as well. This is the Spirit of Transportation, just off the main concourse. And here's a little trivia for you. The 30th Street Station is rare in that it's one of just a few in the country where trains arrive and depart from all four directions. Boston in the north, Florida in the south, Atlantic City in the east, and Chicago in the west. So if you're looking to kick your trip to Philly off with a little razzle-dazzle, this is much, much cooler than arriving at the airport. All right, let's talk Rocky, shall we? There have been 6 Rocky films in total, 9 if you want to count the Creed series with Michael B. Jordan, and I do. Excellent movies. The first was released in November of 1976. It was shot for under $1 million, and Sylvester Stallone insisted, in order to save money, that they shoot on location here in Philadelphia and use real Philadelphia citizens as background players. And what I want to show you right now is probably one of the most iconic locations from that film. This was Rocky's apartment. This humble apartment served as a symbol of Rocky's underdog story and his journey from rags to riches. It really takes me back. I could just picture him cracking those raw eggs into the glass and drinking it and feeding his pet turtles before throwing on that gray sweatsuit, going for a run, all of his neighbors cheering him on. Now, the interior shots in the movie were shot on a soundstage, obviously, but the exteriors were shot here. Rocky's address in the movie was 1818 Cathy Street, but don't go there when you come to Philly because that was a fictional address. The real address is 1818 East Tusculum Street. But as you can see, the tourists have no problems finding this spot. Sadly, the neighborhood is not that great, never has been really, but it's that working class gritty feel that Sylvester Stallone was looking for. All right, more on Rocky later. Let's talk our nation's independence. This is the Declaration House, located in the Old City District, not far from the Liberty Bell, which we'll visit shortly. And it was here that a 33-year-old Thomas Jefferson wrote the all-important words that created a new nation in 1776. He did so between June 11th and June 28th, submitted a draft to Franklin and Adams, who had a couple of notes. The final document was submitted on July 2nd and adopted on, you got it, the 4th of July. I mentioned the old historic district. Market Street runs right through the center of it, and just a block or two up is the Liberty Bell. Once you pass through this airport-like security, you will be thrilled to discover that admission to this small yet very interesting museum and to the Liberty Bell itself is absolutely free. Yeah, admission is first come, first served. Opening time 9 a.m., and they are open every day of the year except Christmas. Now, the Liberty Bell was originally called the State House Bell. And many history books will tell you that it rang that July of 1776 to symbolize America's independence from Britain. But that may not be true. You see, at the time of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the State House steeple, it was under repair, which makes it pretty unlikely that the Liberty Bell was in use. And that famous crack, well, historians don't know how that got there either. But the founding fathers of this nation who walked these cobblestone streets risked everything for that independence, for that liberty. And this was the hub, Independence Hall. The Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were both debated heavily and signed inside this building. If these walls could talk, fugitive slave hearings were held here. George Washington was appointed commander-in-chief of the Continental Army here in 1775. And after he was assassinated, Abraham Lincoln's body laid in state here for 2 days, where more than 85,000 people came to pay their respects to the late president. And since its completion in 1732, Independence Hall has been a place where people come to be heard. As you stroll or cruise the streets of Philly, there is something interesting around every corner. And when I took a ride onto Chestnut Street, it wasn't so much a what that caught my eye as it was a who that caught my eye. Have you ever seen that show Parking Wars? You know, where people try to sweet talk their way out of expensive parking tickets? Well, my favorite is Officer Hawkins. Everybody is recognizing you. Does that happen every day?
Every day. Every day.
Now, the things we see on the TV show, it looks like it can get pretty hectic out here. Is this a stressful... Look, you're getting somebody right now, huh?
Yes.
I love it. Is it stressful for you, or are you able to leave the job at work and...
Oh, I leave the job at work. I leave the job at work. It's a job. It's something that, you know...
Are people do they ever do anything nice for you, or are they just yelling at you? Do they?
They're very, very kind to me, all the time.
Well, I think you're fantastic. Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Okay?
Officer Hawkins was ticketing someone illegally parked in front of what was once Benjamin Franklin's home. Well, much to my chagrin, the home is gone, and now it's just the Franklin residences. Since visiting Benjamin Franklin's house turned out to be such a wild success, sometimes you swing and you miss, you know? What can I tell you? I thought the next best thing might be to pay our respects. So I wanted to bring you here to the grave of one of our founding fathers. Franklin is buried here in the Christ Church burial ground in the Old Historic District. You know, he was the oldest man to sign the Declaration of Independence. The average age of the signers was 44. Franklin at the time was 70. And he's one of those guys that has done so much, it's almost hard to keep track of it all. Take a look at this resume. Born in Boston in 1706, moved to Philly in 1723. Scrolling down here, the first to utilize electricity in 1732, invented the open stove, founded the Pennsylvania Hospital. All of this with only 2 years of formal education. Franklin passed away in 1790 at the age of 84 and was laid to rest next to his wife, Deborah. Now, if you have any friends or family here in Philadelphia, you know they love their sports. They love the Flyers, they love their Eagles, they love their Phillies. But let's get back to this guy. Man, they love Rocky, who, by the way, wasn't even a real person. Rocky Balboa, keep in mind, was a fictional character played by Sylvester Stallone, of course. This statue is a testament to just how much the Italian stallion means to the city of Philadelphia, and I love that quote. This statue is just outside the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Take a look at the detail. It is cast entirely in bronze, weighs in at 2,000 pounds, and stands 8 feet 6 inches tall. Stallone himself commissioned for this statue to be created in 1980 to be used in the movie Rocky III. And yes, he owns one just like it. Love the Italian stallion on the boots. That's classic. And these steps, come on. Rocky running up those steps in the first film, symbolizing more than anything else, personal victory. If you hang out here long enough, you'll see tourists mimicking Rocky's climb to the top. There are 72 stone steps in total, and although they are referred to frequently as the Rocky Steps, they actually belong to the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And what kind of host would I be if I didn't take you to the very top and show you this incredible view of the Philly skyline and the George Washington Monument, which, as you can see, it's big, stands 44 feet tall, one of about 1,500 city-owned statues and public monuments here in Philadelphia. A town that's also known not only for statues, but for food, but not pizza, right? You knew this was coming. The Philly cheesesteak. This sandwich is a staple of this city, has been since 1930. Sliced ribeye, American cheese, chopped onions usually, but for me, peppers on a toasted bun. Great city, man. Great city. I hope you get the chance to come visit. And if not, I hope this video scratched your itch a little bit. Make sure you check the Tattooed Traveler out every weekend on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, of course on YouTube. And you can find us online anytime at thetattooedtraveler.com. I'm Todd Newton from the great city of Philadelphia. Until we meet again a little further down the road, travel safely.